Good. Very good. Well, thank you so much for everyone jumping on, the people that Bobby and I invited, as well as the others of you that have invited some people. So, so exciting. So I'm so glad we're all kind of back here again together. But I'm going to share for you tonight a little bit about what I consider to be activation. So many of you, like my husband and myself, for years, and actually we were with a company for about 25 years, in which we use supplements, and we actually brought them into doctors' offices and stuff. And so, we worked with those physicians closely for about 25 years. And never had heard about activation. We literally had made millions with them, never heard about activation. So it really is a cool story that I'm going to take you through tonight, what activation is as opposed to supplementation. So this all began in a lab, and this began in a lab back in the 1960s. And what I'm going to talk about is activation over supplementation. And you may have used some kind of supplements. Maybe you take a multivitamin or vitamin B, C, D, particularly with this pandemic. But back in the 60s, this scientist figured out at a cellular level that our bodies create antioxidants. Now, I did not know this after 25 years working with physicians. I thought taking direct antioxidant supplements was the only way to go. But what this scientist figured out was at a cellular level, our bodies create these antioxidants. And for this, he was awarded the Elliott Crescent Award, which really is a famous award. Most of us aren't aware of it, but people like Henry Ford, the Wright brothers, Alexander Graham Bell actually were awarded this award for their discoveries, huge discoveries that went on. But what happened to the flip side of this was he realized that when we get into our 20s, and that's why we say aging now starts in our 20s, he realized that when we get into our 20s, so for guys, it's 24, for women, it's 22, our bodies stop throwing off all these antioxidants. So, he was concerned, is declining health something that we must be kind of stuck with? Or are we destined to declining health? And I know for me, that's always been a huge question, and certainly something that early on in my life, my husband's grandmother had passed away, but she did so in a manner that's always been of huge interest to me. And I don't know if you've even envisioned what the last few years of your life are going to be like, but what she did is she had 9 children, and she went around the house and she labeled everything. And having no known disease or sickness, she sat down in a chair and peacefully passed. And so that's what I want the end of my life to look like. I don't know about you, but there's actually statistics out there that show that's quite the opposite, unless we do something about that. And again, that's more what we're going to talk about tonight. So the average age, or the average length of time someone is alive, is 77 years now. It used to be 78 years. This is the first time in 4 decades that aging has actually reversed 1.4 years. So we're going backwards now instead of longer lifespan. But the other interesting part, and what was so interesting to the scientists, is on an average, our health span, the number of years we are in good health, is age 66, which means we now have 11 to 12 years of poor health on an average, which is certainly not anything anybody wants. I mean, I can relate to when my grandmother passed. We took care of her, Bobby and I, for a number of years. At the end, it meant nursing home and feeding tubes, and just a horrible way to end. So he went back into the laboratory, and it literally was decades later. He figured out how to activate our cells so that we can again throw off all these antioxidants, and it's called the NRF2 pathway. And we're going to talk more about that, but he figured out how to literally flip the switch and turn on our good genes and turn off our bad genes to a point where we are really only destined to 20% of our genes. So let me explain. If your dad has some kind of maybe heart disease runs in his family, God forbid, hopefully not, and your mom has something equally devastating, we are no longer stuck to those genes. We have power and control over 80% using products like this, dealing with different pathways of aging, exercise, good food, just overall good health. And so there's a little bit of a term that I need to explain, and it's called oxidative stress. And what oxidative stress does is it causes a lot of damage with our cells. And it really is the difference between the amount of free radicals our body creates through the environment, through exercise, cell phones, pharmaceutical drugs we take, water, microwave, you get, just stress, you get the idea. Those are all free radicals. And we, for years, have tried to supplement with antioxidants to offset those free radicals. And the difference, because we create so many more free radicals than we could possibly take in as antioxidants, is a term they use called oxidative stress. Well, Protandim NRF2 Synergizer, this is the formulation that this scientist created. We can legally say it reduces oxidative stress by 40% in the first 30 days. And I'll go on to show you exactly what that means. It means that, not only will we age better, we'll have less disease and less inflammation, which is so important. So Protandim activates your body to create 1,000,000 times per second the antioxidant value. And it does that 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It increases our master antioxidant called glutathione by 300%, catalase, SOD, all our antioxidant, it increases them dramatically. And because, like I said early on, this is so exciting. We have so many large medical universities doing studies on this, and I'll show you. But you can imagine, because it is so exciting, that every large pharmaceutical and drug company out there would love, love, love to have this formulation, have tried to knock it off. And therefore, we have 13 patents that protect the duplication of our formulation, because it seems like a pretty simple formulation. It's 5 plant-based ingredients. One is turmeric. You may be very familiar with that. Milk thistle. Green tea is very common, ashwagandha, and bacopa. And I can tell you, my husband and I, we literally took 3 out of the 5 before even hearing about this product and all the benefits of it. But what we found out, by just adding another 2, we would only get some results, because the way that he's put this product together, this synergistic effect, we get 1,800% better results using this one little pill, as opposed to using 5 of these different pills and playing the mad scientist. And you can bet it's a lot cheaper too than trying to buy all those products. But what's even cooler is how much fruits and vegetables, because you've probably heard it, I've heard it, people say, well, I can get everything I need from the fruits and vegetables that I eat. Well, that's a misnomer. That actually isn't true anymore. In order to get the same results that you would get with this one little yellow activator, we call it, you would need to eat 11 pounds of blueberries, 375 oranges, 120 tablets of vitamin C, and 87 glasses of red wine every day, day in, day out. I have no idea what that costs. I guess one day I should figure it out. But what's even more exciting is this one little yellow pill, this little yellow activator that we have, can actually reduce your oxidative stress levels to that of a 20-year-old. So you can have the blood of a 20-year-old. And that's simply if I had an 80-year-old who had been on the product for 8 months, a 60-year-old who'd been on the product for 6 months, a 40-year-old who had been on the product for 4 months, and a 20-year-old, and I took all their blood, I could not truly tell whose blood was that of a 20-year-old. So we now know for every for every month you're on Protandim, you reduce a whole decade of oxidative stress, which is very, very exciting. The other study that came out from the NIA is that it actually extends life by an average of 7%, which is just so exciting. I think the older you are, the longer you want to live. So this has been a very exciting study as well. But to back all this up, because it's not my opinion, as it was when we took direct antioxidants and supplements, all of this is in a site called PubMed.gov. Typically, doctors, scientists want to go in there and look at pharmaceutical drugs to find out the interactions, the cautions, and the warnings of these drugs. But you and I can go to PubMed.gov, and we can literally type in oxidative stress and any disease state we might be concerned with. In fact, there are some 250,000 studies of oxidative stress on this website, with relation to disease and aging. We have our company as a product has 26 peer-reviewed studies on PubMed.gov in which these large leading medical universities did their own independent studies. We're not paid by our company, but independent studies, because again, this is just so exciting. You know, you have universities like Harvard, Florida State, Colorado, Washington State went so far as to say the health effects of NRF2 may well become the most extraordinary therapeutic and the most extraordinary preventative breakthrough in the history of medicine. And they likened it to things like penicillin, aspirin, stem cells, huge discoveries out there, yet this will be the most extraordinary in the breakthrough of medicine. This is big science. We also have another pathway of aging that's equally important. It's called mitochondria. It's NRF1, and what it does is it actually controls the amount of energy that we have at a cellular level. You might remember ATP energy, and so important that we keep this mitochondria, the amount of mitochondria in each cell high. But the sad fact is we actually do a really good job of actually killing off or hurting almost half the amount of mitochondria we have per cell. And it's great. You know, somebody with like a muscle cell will have somewhere of 8,000 mitochondria. So by midlife, it's down to 4,000. Your brain and your heart cells have about 4,000 mitochondria. And by midlife, it's said to be around half of that at 2,000. So, you know, maybe that's why they say after 40, it's all downhill, but we really need the energy in these cells to keep our cells healthy and to keep the longevity and the aging process and to slow it down. So this is the product Protandim NRF1 Synergizer. Again, you can see just some all natural ingredients, but it is the synergistic effect, the recipe of this product that gives us such amazing results. So it's going to increase that mitochondria or ATP, so it'll slow down the aging process. It improves sleep and cellular repair. It supports cardiovascular and brain health, and just really makes all our cells work at peak performance. The other product we have in this line for anti-aging is our NAD. Super cool product. Lots and lots of benefits from this. And what it's doing is increasing a protein that they found that if we increase this protein called sirtuins, we can get huge benefits from this. And this is something that for a long time, people have done calorie restricted diets, severe calorie restricted diets. Somebody like myself, it might be 400 or 600 calories a day, day in, day out over a long period of time to try to get this protein to reactivate itself, but not as much as we have in this product. So, you know, it can improve your concentration, your memory focus. It also supports positive mood. It helps with boosting mental focus, physical energy, physical recovery. Let's see, libido, weight loss is in there, cholesterol is in there, cardiovascular. There's a lot of benefits from this. In fact, this is something that when you take our NAD product here, we get 100% activation the first 24 hours, 60% in the first 4 hours. So people really feel the good benefits of this product. And like I said, there are a whole host of benefits, but they love how they feel on this product. You really need to use all three of them together, because quite often somebody will say, well, which one is the most important? Well, I can tell you, using the three of them together, we get some 2,100% better results with each of the products by using the three of them together. They also give you a little bit of a break on the price. But what's really exciting, we also have other products that all have this NRF2 activation in it. So, you know, you think you're taking it on the inside, you're getting all the reduced oxidation on the inside, but what about on the outside? I want it in my hair care, I want it in my skin care, we have it in brain health. What's really cool is there's an app that you can look at your phone, that's a Think Dirty app. And really, this is an app where you can take anything in your house, the shampoo you're currently using, the deodorant you're using, hand cream, whatever you're using, and you can plug it into this app and it'll rate it on a scale of 0 to 10, 10 being the worst, and it'll let you know how clean or not clean your product is. And I can tell you, when I looked at what Bobby and I were using prior to these products, everything was like an 8 or a 9. It was horrible. But again, this will rate any products you have and let you know how clean or unclean. So not only are they, results oriented, they're good for us, but they're clean products as well. Just to summarize the benefits of the products, again, sleep is 65% of people have problems sleeping. It improves vitality, increases energy, better memory, focus, concentration, huge market there. We talk about libido, we have weight loss, healthier hair, skin, and nails. And, again, my personal favorite is that of the blood of a 20-year-old. But, the product is amazing, but even more so than that, there's a great backstory on this company and how this company came to be, because it's not like any other company. But I'm going to invite my husband to come and share with you just how cool the story is on the company as well. So if you'll hold on 1 second, and thank you so much for your time.
Hey, good evening, everybody. And I don't know about you, but every time I hear about those products, I just want to take more. I'm of the school, if one's good, two's better. But anyway, I do appreciate you being here tonight. And I'm going to shift gears a little bit. And, I want you to think a little bit, about what I'm going to share with you. But, we're coming off, 16 months, 17 months now of a pandemic. And not only would I like you thinking about your own situation, you and your family and your loved ones, but, people around you, friends, neighbors, relatives, colleagues, coworkers, folks from church. Just think about it a little bit, because, there's a business side to this. When April said, I'm going to talk a little bit about the story behind the company, a big part of that is the business opportunity that is available, sharing the information on the products that April just talked about. And I always like to do a what if. Now, you just heard about these products, and you do understand with natural products, we're not allowed to make health claims and stuff, but you can imagine, okay, that NRF2 product and that NRF2 science that's in other products, okay, we own it, okay? We have the patents on it. Nobody in the world can have it. Pharmaceutical companies have been trying to do it with pharmaceuticals for 2 or 3 decades and can't do it. So when you own something so spectacular with the patents and the studies to go with it, it would just make sense that there would be a good business attached to it, because you know what? The entire world, not just the United States, doesn't know about it yet. Nobody's heard about it. So it'd be like having an inside tip, on when Uber was first starting, or when Facebook was first starting, or, any one of the big businesses out there. We have a very well kept secret. So let me tell you a little bit about LifeVantage, okay? We started not as a marketing company, not as an opportunity driven company. We started as a biotech company, a biomedical company back in 2003. And, in other words, the NRF2 product, the Protandim, they were just trying to sell it out of a pharmacy, or, out of a store or vitamin store. That was it. And then when ABC Primetime heard about, I'm going to say, our claims, what we were allowed to say, according to the government, okay, we have permission to say the product reduces oxidative stress in 30 days, okay, 40% in 30 days. Well, that means if you reduce that, you reduce inflammation. Obviously, you reduce inflammation, that has a direct effect on disease, okay? And I'm not making any claims here, but that's just a fact, okay? If you reduce inflammation, you reduce the amount of disease, okay? Well, ABC Primetime heard about this, and that show, the investigative Primetime Report, it's one of those gotcha shows. They're trying to look for the scams, the lies, the cheating, that kind of thing. And they sent John Quiñones, okay, they sent him in and wanted him to have his own blood taken and, just prove us wrong. And, He didn't even wait 30 days to have his blood rechecked. He came back just 2 weeks later to have it rechecked. The study says 40% in 30 days. Do you know his oxidative stress was reduced 45% in just 2 weeks? And what normally would have been a gotcha show, we caught you lying, what, became a commercial, okay, for us is exactly what happened. And you may have seen it. We show it all the time. We all have, a replay of it on our phones, okay? Well, after that, we were listed on the NASDAQ, okay, which we are today on the NASDAQ Stock Exchange. But here was the big change, okay? We had this miracle-like product, but they weren't doing a good job of letting the public know about it. And the reason for that is it's a product that has a story, and the story needs to be told. And the best way to do that is person to person or word of mouth. So we took all the product out of the stores, which they didn't know how to sell it. We switched our marketing to direct sales or network marketing in 2009. Okay, so 11, 12 years ago now. And the company went from doing 5 million a year in sales to over 200 million a year in sales. And now we're at about $250 million a year in sales. It created a whole new market called nutrigenomics. If you're not familiar with what that is, and I didn't know what that is, and that's a $17 billion market now, but it's the way food and vitamins and nutrients interact with our genes. Okay, nutrigenomics, that's what that means. It's an entirely new industry, and like April was saying, we all grew up believing our genes were our genes. We were born with them. There's nothing we can do about it. And the fact of the matter is 80% of the genes that we were born with, we can do something about it. Okay, so it's a very, very exciting company. It's very exciting science, and nobody has it. We own it. We have the rights to it, and nobody else has it. So very, very exciting. But it's not just an opportunity, in the United States. It's a global opportunity. And we're not in the 100 countries yet that we're planning on going into over the next 3, 4, 5 years. But we are in 22 countries now, okay? The United States, Canada, Mexico, obviously, but then the European countries and some of the Asian countries and Australia. Think about this. Everything's done online now. Everything's done by a smartphone, a computer. The world's gotten very small. So why wouldn't we want a business that would travel all over the world when the technology is there to do it? I know when we got started 3 years ago, okay, we knew a couple people in the Netherlands. Everyone else we knew was in the United States, but our business is in 10 countries now, okay, because people know people, and talking to, dealing with, and communicating or getting information to people anywhere in the world is easy now. It's social media, it's text messaging, it's using WhatsApp, the internet's everywhere. So we have a global opportunity. And even if you don't know anybody that lives in another country, your business will grow into other countries. Now, I want you thinking about what we dealt with during the pandemic. And I understand every state handled it differently, okay? Whether you're in a red state or a blue state, and the length of the lockdowns, the severity of it, all I understand it was all handled differently depending on where you live. But what I'm going to share with you now are the benefits of this business. And what that will do is show you it's irrelevant where you were and the conditions you had to deal with. Because this business, we have the opportunity to work from home or anywhere we happen to be. So it wouldn't matter if you were locked down at home or you weren't. Here in Florida, for the most part, we weren't. But a lot of states are still locked up, okay? So this is a business where you're not at the mercy of a pandemic or a government or a state government. See, we can work from anywhere at any time, including our home. And it's a social sharing business. We use information provided, okay, by the company, videos and PDFs and internet sites and websites and all that. and we share the information by text or by an app. Okay, our business has a virtual office. Okay, we run our office from our phone or our laptop. There's minimal startup costs. Get this one. There's no inventory requirements. See, everybody gets drop shipped right to their doorstep. And even though we're selling, our organization sells millions of dollars a year worth of products, we don't keep inventory. We just send an order in, the warehouse sends it out, and we get paid. Okay, and we all have a personal online store. Get this, in every market that we're in every language. See, all you do at the top of the page, you can't see it here, but there's a flag up here, and you click on it, and it changes, okay, to the country that you're talking about and the language of that country. Now, let me talk a little bit about the money side of things. And this is so crucial. It's been a crazy time for the last 16, 17 months with finances. Okay, everyone's had, the government's printed money and given it out. There's been all kinds of unemployment and support, and some businesses closed, some were open. It's definitely been a period of time of uncertainty. And moving forward, everything's looking better, okay? But here's one thing that you and I never want to deal with again. We never want all our eggs in one basket. We do not want to be relying on just one source of income. See, any financial expert will tell you got to have 2, 3, 4, 5 different sources of income. Well, look at the 3 red arrows, okay? I want you to pay close attention to this to show you how much we can do for anybody that you and I care about and want to share information with to help the financial situation. See the $600 a month, $626, that's a monthly number. That's the average earned by one of our Pro 3s in the business. And I'm going to try not to use our specific industry terms. That is a person. A Pro 3 is somebody that is a distributor in our business, okay? And their entire team of people and customers is doing about $5,000 a month in business. So that tri-synergizer that April was talking about with the NRF1 mitochondria, the NRF2 oxidative stress, and the NAD product, that's about 50 of those. Okay, so all that is a team doing about 50 of those a month, and you're going to make an average of $600-700 a month. Do you know, when a survey was taken in December as the pandemic was winding down, $500 to $1,000 a month, most people said would be life-changing in the United States. Okay, now let's drop down to the second arrow. Okay, that's our Pro 5s in the business. It's $3,100 a month is the average. So we're talking $36,000 to $40,000 a year. That'll keep a spouse home while the other one goes to work. That'll replace a 2-household income. But let me share something with you. A Pro 5 is somebody's distributorship or business that's doing about $20,000 in business. The entire team of distributors and the entire team of customers, when it's all added together, is doing about $20,000 and earning about $3,100 a month. Now, here's the difference, okay? Going to work for 40, 50 hours a week to make $3,100 a month versus being able to work from home or anywhere you are and getting paid $3,100 a month. Because this money is, it's a residual income on repeat business that goes out on subscription every month. Now, I'm going to give you one more example and look at Pro 7. That's the third arrow down. And that's an average of $13,000, $14,000 a month. Now we're talking $160,000 to $200,000 a year. Okay, in that range. That's just $100,000 worth of business in somebody's, on somebody's entire team of customers and stuff. We were able to be a Pro 7 in less than 12 months, a Pro 8 in less than 24 months. So granted, we had experience in the industry and we knew how to work a business like this, but we still started, our old company closed, like April said. So we were still starting from scratch. But here's what I want you to think about. How many people do you know? How many people do you and I know that would appreciate anywhere from an extra 600 to an extra 13,000 a month? And it goes all the way down much bigger than that. Okay, that's not the end of it. I'm just using those three numbers as an example. And here's something I want you to think about. You can probably tell from my accent that I'm not from Florida. I'm from New York. Half of Florida is from New York. Okay. So we were in New York when 9/11 happened. And I always remembered, having this discussion with people when they asked about what was it like. Well, obviously it was horrible. Okay. It was terrible, a tragedy, but you were only one removed at best on that day from knowing someone who lost their life. And what I meant by that was, if you didn't know anybody that perished when the 3,000 people perished in the Twin Towers that day, a friend of yours did. Okay, you were only one removed. If you were fortunate enough and you didn't, somebody did. Well, let's go forward 20 years, 19 years to 2020. Does anybody not know somebody that was affected, either illness, death, or financially? See, it's ridiculous now. See, everybody was affected. Even if you weren't personally, so many people you knew were. That means all of those people are going to be looking for a way to protect that never happens again. And one of the things we can all do is protect ourselves by building our immune system, and these products do that, and protect ourselves by having an additional income other than maybe the one that we've grown accustomed to having. Because as we found out during the last 16 months, it can be taken from you. And it doesn't need to be anybody's fault. It could just be a situation and it could be taken from you. So that's why this opportunity is so big and so special at this time. So let me share this with you. Is it a good business opportunity? Okay. Well, how do you evaluate a good business opportunity? Well, obviously we got great products. April talked about that. I told you the story. Okay. But here's how you evaluate it. Are the products unique? Yeah, they're patented. Okay. We have a massive market. Everybody gets benefits from the products. They're very affordable. They're backed by reputable science. All right. They're consumable, and we use a subscription model. Okay, where they go out automatically every month at a discounted wholesale price with free shipping. So here's the only question, okay? And I'm going to give you the answer before I even tell you, okay? You wonder, can I do this? How can you not? See, look at number one there. We all use apps on our phone, text from our phone, check email from our phone, and do things from our phone. We all do it. See, that's the only requirement to be able to do this business, is if you've ever checked your email, ever called for an Uber, ever checked Facebook, or sent a text from your phone, then you're doing this business. You're just not getting paid for it. Because all you got to do is get registered with us and start sharing information the same way you do already, and you'll earn money. Okay. See, we do business during the in-between times of the day. Same way we check our text, our email, and return voicemails. Okay, we use a very simple, easy to follow ITT system. We invite, like somebody invited you tonight to check us out. Okay, they may have texted you an invitation, they may have emailed it to you, they may have called you and invited you, but you invite people, you share a tool with them. It could be a Zoom like this live, it could be a video or a replay of this. Okay, and then you get a teammate involved to answer any questions that need to be answered. It's that simple. Okay, that's all there is to it. So how can you be supportive? Number one, you have already been supportive by spending 30 minutes with us. Okay, and we really, really appreciate that. But you know what? You should seriously consider activating your own health and be a customer. I mean, I can, some things I'm not supposed to say when I'm live, but I had the virus. Okay. Do you know I've been taking products like these for years I barely got sick for 3 years and I'm not 25 years old. Okay. I barely got sick for 3 days and it was gone. Food tasted funny. Now I thank God every day for that, but I think my immune system was set up for that. Okay. So why wouldn't you want to activate yourself and protect yourself? And I'm not making any claims. I'm just saying that happened to me. And April also got it, never got sick. And they're calling her all the time to give it to, so she can give blood. Okay. Because we have the antibodies. Okay. So get on a subscription and get yourself and your loved ones, okay, on the product. You'll save money and you get free shipping. But if something that April said, something I said, or something the person who invited you said about the business or the products has intrigued you, hey, join us in the crusade of sharing the information with people. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. We have the videos for you. We have the app for you. It goes right on your phone. Everything is there, and help us change people's lives. People that are sick and tired of being sick and tired. Help us do that by sharing the information. But even if you have more money than you can spend and you're never going to be concerned about money again ever in your life, please consider being a referral for us. Okay, if you don't want to be a resource or referral for yourself, a zillion people that need the benefits of these products, and a zillion people that like to have a backup income on top of whatever their main income is. Okay, and send those referrals either to yourself or to the person that thought enough of you to invite you here tonight. Okay, and here's all you got to do to get started, whether it's on a subscription, okay, or to join us, like I said, in the crusade and start a business and spread the word around the world. You just got to get back to the person who invited you. If they texted you, text them back, say, hey, I want to talk, I want to learn more. If they emailed you, email them back and say, hey, I want to learn more. This is intriguing. I didn't know what I was going to watch, but I like it. Okay, just get back to the person that shared the invite with you or the video, and tell them, hey, I got some questions. It's either this, you either, interested in being a customer, interested in getting involved to earn some money, or you got some questions. So just tell them what it is. Okay. And last but not least, I want to just say thank you, thank you, thank you. We never ever take, time for granted. We know where people are calling in from all over the country, all different time zones. Everybody's, at a different point, depending on your East Coast, Central, or West Coast. And we very, very much appreciate it. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to stop the share for a second, get off the slides, get all the nice looking people back. There they are. I like seeing the people. Okay. So can everyone wave, say hello, turn your cameras on. Look, we have a great weekend coming up. Memorial Day weekend for a lot is, the start of summer. Although it's been 93 every day here in Florida, I think our summer already started, but it's kind of the start of summer. Think about how many people you and I are going to see. Think about it. How many are we going to see over this weekend that could use the benefits of this kind of activation or maybe the income? So let's keep it on our mind and share with people that maybe are not as blessed or not as fortunate as you and I. Okay, let's just share the information. You never know who somebody knows, and you never know somebody's situation. And you have the ability by sharing this to possibly change somebody's life forever, because they may not be sure what to do next. Okay, and this could be the next, like it was for me when I lost my art and picture frame business 29 years ago, and I got in this industry, okay, and spent 25 years, earned millions of dollars with first company. And then when that one closed, we knew how to do it, and LifeVantage found us, and we've been there the last 3 years. So you just never know what the situation is. So share it with people. But anyway, I really, really do appreciate your time. Please get back to whoever shared this with you. If nothing else, just thank them for sharing some great information. But really, get activated. I'll tell you, you feel great when you're activated. If you haven't tried it, try it. The saying, try it, you like it, you will like it. Okay, if you get activated, you feel like you are in your 20s again. But anyway, have a great evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. And I look forward to meeting you in person sometime real soon.